Hello everybody and welcome back. I am here to continue working on my kind of mini Christmas projects using the Cozy Christmas collaboration kit that I have created with Natalie from LineDotArrow. In today's video I wanted to do something with envelopes. I recently received, as part of a little prize that I had won, these blank cards and envelopes, and what I really liked is that the envelopes have this lining, which I know is more of a pinkish colour, but I thought it still went really lovely with the Christmassy kit. And it comes with blank cards, but even inside the cards there is a decoration. So I mean, there are pink ones that go with that, but I also had green, so I thought, well, these are lovely Christmassy colours, so I thought I could use these to create some kind of envelope flip folio thing. So just something mini, because as I said, I'm trying to do mini projects, things that would suit either some kind of happy mail or, as I was saying, like a little Christmas stocking filler, something like that, just something small. So I have two of these envelopes, and I'll give you the sizes just in case you wanted to do something of a similar size. So the envelopes themselves are, well, just shy of 8.5 inches, and then they are just over 4.5 inches wide. So obviously they're both the same, and then the card blanks that come with them are 4 by 8. Okay, so that's what I've got. As I said, this was a set that was given to me. It was part of a kind of raffle draw in a craft group that I belong to, so I got these, but I just thought that these would be brilliant for this project. Now I have been preparing some bits off of camera, because again I just wanted to save time. I wanted to do some kind of quicker videos, because a couple of mine this month have been quite long, or certainly long for me. I don't tend to do videos much longer than half an hour, but a couple of my videos have been like an hour long. So as I said, that's quite long for me, so I do like to keep them a bit shorter. So it might be that this becomes a two-part video, but ideally what I would like to do is stick these two together like this, so that it kind of folds in and folds over, so it still looks like an envelope shape on this side. Where it's stuck on the back, I am going to just glue this down. You could make a pocket if you wanted to, if you were going to craft along with me. I'm not. I might think of another way to decorate the back, but essentially this is how it's going to fold out. Now, as I said, I have prepared some bits off of camera. So I have this envelope. This is from my kit. Now I've actually got two envelopes, and I can't remember which way round they are, but you've got this kind of coin style envelope in one of the kits. I can't remember if it's the main kit or the add-on. And then in the other kit you've got this envelope, so it kind of looks like this on the page, and then when you fold it up. So just because there is a window there, I have lined the inside with this paper, and I'm quite pleased that actually when I lined it up it worked out that you can see Christmas through the window, so that worked out quite nicely. And I have done a little bit of sewing, so again just trying to save some time when filming. So I have sewn around, only because a lot of the other projects that I've done I've also been sewing, so I'm just trying to keep everything cohesive and together. So I've got these two envelopes, and what I was thinking is this one I also kind of want to glue inside here, so I've got kind of an envelope that then folds over. Then this envelope I was thinking of kind of gluing to the top so that it actually flaps up, and then you can pull out whatever's inside that way. So that's what I was thinking for those. I have also gathered some pockets, and I'll show you those pockets in a bit more detail in a moment. I've also done some pages. So this was one of the collage pages from the kit that I've kind of cut up, and then this is going to cover these bits here. So that one, when it closes up, is going to have the lady's face on with this going on there. And then on the back, like I said, to kind of cover up that this is stuck down. As I said, you could make this into a pocket. I'm not. I'm just going to glue it straight down. And then I've got that to stick on the back as well. So that's just to kind of cover up all of the envelopes on the outside. On the inside, I was debating whether lining these, but I'm not going to. I have got my 2 pockets, which I'm going to put in there. So I thought, well, once you've got those pockets on and then you've got tags in, that kind of covers the background anyway. And I'm not fussed really that there is some white showing. I do have some white showing on a couple of my other projects as well, so I'm not overly worried about that. So that's pretty much how it's kind of going to go together. I'm hoping to try and get the base of it done, as I say, in this video, and then I think I'll do another video in the next day or two where I'm kind of doing the bits that go in the pockets and decorating the tags and all that kind of stuff. So let's start getting bits stuck down. So I'm just going to move those bits out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to move those 2 envelopes at the moment because I want to glue this bit down. So first of all, I'm just going to get rid of this thread because we don't want that. And then obviously I want that glued up on there. So I'm going to do that first. Actually, okay, so that's that one glued, and then this envelope, when I had sewn this, I'd only kind of sewn around this flap. I was debating sewing like along here, but then I thought, oh, actually it doesn't really matter. But then I have kind of gone round here as well. The only thing I want to think about, oh, actually no, that's going to get stuck down, isn't it? So I was thinking of making a closure, but then obviously I don't need to because that's going to be the flap, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't need to worry about that. So we're just going to glue this down then. Now I know originally this would probably come on top, but then it's kind of covering up my stitching, which is why I've put that underneath. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down the bottom here. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue down that edge and then along this edge. Okay, so that's just going to hold all of that together. So I'm going to put those to the side for a moment. Then going to bring these 2 back in. So I'm going to move these because I said these cards will probably be the next video. Right, so I was going to use these 2 envelopes. So this one was going to get stuck on here, but then I wanted this envelope in between because originally I was thinking of just sticking it to the base of this envelope, but because I'm not going to cover these, obviously you're going to see this, which I think just looks a little bit hideous, which is why I then decided that this is going to go underneath here. So I think that's the first thing I want to do. So I'm just going to kind of line it up. And then apply my glue. Now I have already done my inking around the envelopes and everything. Again, did it all off camera before I switched everything on, just to again save some time. Okay, so that's on there, and you can still obviously access that envelope, and I can still access this one. And then this envelope is now going to get stuck on there. Now I'm not going right up until the fold. I'm kind of leaving a slight gap, because obviously once you start filling this and filling that envelope, you want enough space for this to fold over. So I'm not sure even what space that is. Let's have a look. So maybe 1/8 of an inch. So just a teeny weeny little space, as I said, just to kind of allow for any bulk. So I'm just making sure that it is all lined up. Okay, so as I said, I've got a teeny weeny little gap there to where the fold is, just so obviously when there is some bulk in there, and then that flaps out like that. So instantly we've already got a kind of page there. You could of course even add some journaling pages and stitch those in. I'm not doing that because I don't want this too bulky. As I said, these are great for sort of like happy mails or little stocking fillers. It's just going to be something sort of nice and thin and simple. So the next envelope that we've got, I was thinking of putting here, and then this would come over, but I'm now thinking, for the same reason, obviously you're going to see this. Now I know I've got stitching there. I could potentially put something across there, but I'm thinking if I put it on the other side, then at least I can cover it, because obviously this is going to have something on it. So I'm thinking I might do that instead. So I am leaving a little bit of a gap here. I don't want it butted up right against the side. I've still got enough space to be able to pull out whatever's going to go in there. But again, I'm not going to go right up to the fold, because that's then going to make it tricky. I am going to leave a teeny weeny little gap. So I'm just going to add some glue here. Obviously in hindsight I wouldn't have stitched this part. But that's all part of the learning process, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to again line that up. As you can see, I haven't got it flush against the top of the envelope. I do want a slight gap just to allow it to be able to actually fold over. And that still folds over really nicely. Like that. Okay. Then we had our 2 pockets. Now for these, I used the pockets that were in my kit, but as you can see they are a completely different size. That's because this was obviously a longer pocket, but because this is obviously only so wide, all I've done is I've just kind of folded it over to the width that I needed, and then I've just created the flap with that part and then cut the rest off. I've still kept the arched shape because I quite like that. But yeah, I've just played around with the size of these. You could, of course, fiddle around on your printer and shrink them down. I just did not have the patience to do that and try and get it right. So I decided to do it this way. So I'm just going to stick those down like that. Again, I've done all of my inking. I decided not to add any sewing to these, only because when you're trying to slot things in, sometimes it gets caught if you've got sewing along there. So I haven't sewn any of my pockets. Okay, so first pocket is going there. And again, I really liked this pocket because the kind of the tones here, it is a kind of pinky red, so I thought it just went really lovely with the lining of this envelope. Okay, and then on this side, again, we've got those kind of pinky tones, but we've got lots of green as well, and we've got lots of greenery in these envelopes. But then this one is going to go here. So I'm going to do the same. Okay, so we've got our two pockets. As I said, they'll have tags in. We've got an envelope here. We've obviously got those two envelopes and then this one up there. So essentially, that is how the inside's going to look. We've obviously got all of the bits and pieces inside to do. But as I say, that might be in another video. Right, now to start thinking about these parts. Now, I have already, as I've shown, cut these down and sewn. Now I did try to stay away from the edge just in case I did need to do some trimming. I think this one fits perfectly on there, so let's get that one stuck down. Okay, so I really like how that one looks already. I love the lady's face and the birds, brilliant. Okay, so then we've got this one. So again, I'm just going to check that it fits okay. Again, I did try and not sew up against the edge just in case I did need to do some trimming. But that looks like it fits okay. So I'm just going to add again some glue to that and get that one stuck down. Now, as you can see from the flexibility of this, this is just copier paper, so I haven't used any thicker paper or anything for this, only because the envelopes that I'm using are quite good quality. They are quite thick already, so I didn't feel that it needed anything stronger. If I was using a thinner, cheaper envelope, then I possibly would have printed onto 160 GSM. Just to make it a little bit more sturdier, but I've just used general copier paper, which here in the UK is 80 GSM. But that's because, as I said, the envelopes are a nice stiff quality. Okay, so we've then got that one on there, and again I quite like it because we've got the pink in the bow, similar to the pocket that we've used on the inside, so it links quite nicely with that. Right, then on the back we've got this one. So I think it probably just needs the teeniest, tiniest of trims. And I'm going to be brave and do that with my scissors. So, as I said, teeny tiny, does not want to be any bigger than that. I just need to get it from edge to edge, which it now is. So I'm going to re-ink that side. Now, I also want to show you a little trick that I have been doing. So you can see here that my machine has missed a stitch. So all I'm going to do is with a black fine liner, just where that dot is, I'm going to bring it down to a point and kind of draw that stitch in. Okay, so anybody looking at that, unless they know, would not know that that is a stitch missing. So unless you're kind of feeling along, you wouldn't be able to see it. I can see that there is another one here actually. So I'm going to fill that in. And I saw another hole there. I'm going to go that way. Just like that. And then I think that's ready now to be stuck down. Right, just making sure that everything's the right way up, because the last thing I want is to stick this upside down, because this glue is very, very strong and it dries very quickly. Right, okay, so that is what we have so far. So again, obviously, I mean, you have got the white showing on the edges. I don't mind that. You could, of course, ink down there if you don't like that. But it doesn't bother me because, again, we've got white here and we've got white on the inside as well. Okay, so the next thing I think I'm going to work on is the closure. Now, I was debating a couple of things on here, doing a policy closure, but I quite often do a policy closure. So I was trying to think of something different. Now I have all of these different elements that I have had cut out, and I've got these tabs, and I was wondering whether of using a tab and then using an eyelet and then having my twine kind of wrapping around. Now I really love this one because I love the pink roses. Again, it goes with that. I mean, this one's got less of a pink rose. I think I'm going to go with this one because it's got more of the rose on it. So I'm just going to move those to the side again. I'm going to fold this one over and give it a little link. And this is going to go on there like that. So I'm just going to glue that into place. Okay, so next I'm going to want to add an eyelet. So it's just about whether I want a gold one or maybe a different colour. So I don't have green, not in the right size anyway. So I think I might go with gold. Okay, so let's pop the eyelet in. Okay, and then I've been using this quite a lot on my other projects, so I think I'm going to use this again. I'm just going to gauge how much of this I actually want. So maybe just a little bit more. And then I'm going to thread this through there. And then one of these is longer than the other. So this one's longer. So that's the one I want wrapping around. And then this shorter one, I'm going to have wrap, oops, once the other way, and then we can tie it. Okay, and then we've got that all tied up like that, and it keeps it all nicely closed. And then we have it, and as I said, it's a quite nice little thin mailer, so it's great for Happy Mail. Now I know I haven't got anything in there yet, obviously we'll be working on that next time. If I show you the kind of things that I've got ready, so obviously we've got these 2 cards to go inside, so I've got these in a green, so I'm going to be decorating those and possibly covering with bits of the kit on the outside where it's white. I've also got a few different other bits and pieces. So if we open this up, I mean, they're not finished. I haven't punched the holes or anything, but I was thinking in the pockets I could maybe have a couple of the tags. So we've got tags there. Actually, I think I'm going to put the pine cones in the other one, so I can have her maybe in this one. And then in this one, we can have that and the pine cones, just to kind of break that up a little bit. I've also had these little bits, so you'll notice that I've sewn around each of my tags. I then have these, which are, I can't remember if they're part of the kit or if they were part of one of the mini freebies that we've been giving away. I'll have a double check and I'll put it on the screen. And then these, I was thinking could go either in these envelopes or one of these. And I've also got this cute little postcard, which I've just done a little bit of stitching along the top. And then this, it's supposed to look like a Santa's envelope, and I've just done a bit of stitching down the side, but you've still got plenty of space to write on the back, same as the postcard. But I thought these would be cute things to go into these pockets as well. So that one, yeah, fits actually perfectly in there, so that could possibly be one to go in that one. And then I've got these to go in the other envelopes. I do want to make maybe some kind of little mini booklet, just so there is some journaling and writing space. It might be that I turn these into little booklets and put some paper in these. I haven't quite decided. Then obviously these two will go in the main envelopes, and then as I said, I've got these bits then to go in these ones. But we will come back next time to finish those. I'm just glad that we've got the base done and ready. I think it's looking really, really lovely as it is. I think the papers work really well as well, and as I said, a nice little Happy Mail gift or some kind of stocking filler. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you are crafting along, or if you're not doing what I am doing, I hope that you are just enjoying working with the papers, whether it's the paid kits or the freebies. Don't forget to take a look at the different Facebook groups, the main one being LineDotArrow, because we've got challenges going on. We're currently on the 3rd and final challenge, but there will be a few days for you to catch up as well. So if you want to go and take a look at what we've been up to, check out the LineDotArrow Facebook group. All the details will be there. I also have the links to the other Facebook groups that are taking part as well. If you're looking for inspiration on how else you can use these kits, as I said, I'm not making a full journal. My kind of goal for this month was to make a series of smaller projects, but if you do want to see a journal being put together, we have design team members that are working with the kits as well, and they're doing an amazing job. They are all listed down below, so make sure you go and take a look at them too. As always, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. See you later now. Bye bye.